I was in trouble with my parents because I broke a window in the house.
Caleb Zeller says his homelessness started as a 17-year-old runaway.
I thought it was a way to get out.
In an effort to avoid shelter life, he lived couch to couch.
Being in the shelter is not sunshines, rainbows, and kitty cats. It's stressful.
But couch surfing led to a dangerous lifestyle, bunking up with other street teens.
We used to call it the flop house. Probably about 10, 15 people in there at a time. Partying, break windows, trash the place and move on to another one.
Misery loves its company, but Zeller eventually found himself surrounded only by broken beer bottles, addicted to the newfound vice. He moved into an abandoned shed to live by himself.
I did not trust anybody but myself.
But isolation turned dangerous when a winter ice storm froze the door to his shelter, trapping him inside for 4 days.
I stayed in there drinking snow water, and I'm thinking of just ending it there, just sleep with nothing, and hopefully it killed me.
It didn't kill him, so he tried to do it himself, again and again and again.
Being homeless, it's rough.
Trust is hard to find on the streets, but Zeller found it in one man named Kenny.
He taught me how to survive out there.
Kenny would become Zeller's father figure and best friend. They shared an oath to become independent. Their journey took them to the United Caring Shelter, through transitional housing, finally landing in a place of their own.
He got his life together because I got my life together. That was one of our promises.
And it was a promise they celebrated. With keys in hand, they knew they'd made it. But an old nemesis would come knocking at the door.
He had heart problems. I was over at his house celebrating his new apartment. He died.
Amanda Crow with the Evansville Rescue Mission says teen homelessness is a growing problem in the tri-state.
It's hard to spot a lot of times because they stay with friends and things like that. So normally by the time they get here to the shelter, it's rock bottom for them.
Crow says there are 3 typical scenarios that lead to teen homelessness: broken homes, leaving foster care, or getting kicked out. They're sometimes called the lost group, a term that reflects an absence of resources. Crow says a staggering number of parents leave their 18-year-old sons on the doorsteps of the rescue mission, saying he's your problem now.
It's really sad because you see these kids in here and they still need parenting. They have not learned everything that they need to learn. We've had guests who actually are still even in high school.
According to the National Coalition for the Homeless, many homeless teens find exchanging sex for food, clothing, and shelter as their only chance of survival on the streets.
I think it's very prevalent, and I don't think that it's always exchanged for money. I think it's often exchanged for just to have a roof over your head.
Zeller moved into his apartment in 2009. He's been sober since 2010.
I'm extremely happy.
True happiness came with mending the relationship with his family.
My parents, they told me, you're gonna live in a box if you don't friggin' straighten up. What happened to me? I lived in a box. I lived out there on them streets because I didn't straighten up. But now that I straightened up, I look back at that and I'm going, man, I love my mom and dad.